can listen at the same time.
Me neither. I think that's it. I used to think that was an ASCII thing.
What's that?
I used to think it was an ASCII thing. I think it's a male.
What's that?
Can't do two things at once.
Some people.
Jill killed me. That's going to be tough to reach your shank a lot.
I had that camera down here. We put it up, but it was just a horrible shot. Wide up there. And the cameras are moving so much that I film a little, and they're moving so much. It isn't like a concert where this is, you can barely tell. So wide shot. I even kind of filmed a little, and they were bouncing a lot, and I could barely tell. We should be all right. I think so.
live stream against wrestling. That was a fun match to watch at home. I didn't have to go in or nothing. Just sat at home and watched. You guys got like a 2-for-1 too with LILA here tonight. Makes it easy. They'll go over. Well, LILA is a first-year varsity program, so they, I mean, you know, I think last time they played it was pretty not close. But the girls' game tonight will be close. Thanks out of the that'll be a good game.
I've never heard of the school.
LILA? Oh, Liberty. Liberty's a multi-Christian. You know where St. Pius is? You know where St. Pius is in White Bear Lake? So it's a Catholic church down in White Bear. They're part of St. Pius. But they market themselves as a multi-denominational Christian school. But yeah, they're pretty good.
Girls hockey last night.
How's that gal that's playing goalie for the boys doing?
much. Josie Boston.
I've only seen her a couple times. She's really good.
Yeah, they're, I love that you guys are doing the live streaming now. We started doing it when I was coaching at the high school. We started doing it a little bit through school space, but you have to have phone parents to help you. Nobody wants to do this. Yeah, you just gotta hire some people that want to volunteer. What do you guys do? Yeah, when I do the semi-pro football, the soccer, we use line air solo. It's just through OS devices. But it's great.
I'll probably switch to Wirecast and be a little more versatile. If I set that button, not bad at all. I'm a whole board game. Normally I put a couple characters behind the hoop.
It's a tight gym.
The Rangers, like, put GoPros up in the air, shoot down, and I instantly just put a GoPro, so it's running out.
Yeah, the only way to do it would be to put it right on the so you have to get up there and all that. Graduated yet, Vince? Or you still senior? You were homecoming thing last year, right? This year. It all merges together, you know.
Yeah, I did pre-topics out. Oh yeah, I did. You better start off. You better end it with Google Reels. I did say something.
A lot of people, I got through. They just have it. There's only you once you get that video.
I think you guys interviewed me when you guys were at the Community Expo last year. I was with Carney and Kurt. Those are always fun too.
Where is Liberty again?
Liberty is down in White Bear Lake.
Your headsets, you're both on the same headset, that's what it's
This is controlled. So this is controlled good and fun. So if you want to be heard, then
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to North Lakes Academy Basketball, where tonight North Lakes Academy Huskies will face off against Lakes International Language Academy Dragons. We're not going to be in we are still in Forest Lake, but we're not in your normal Forest Lake building. This tonight we are covering some North Lakes basketball. And tonight I have a very special guest with me.
Brad Asplund.
Very nice to meet you, Brad. So glad you can join us on tonight's game.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. As that's going off too.
Yeah, Asher Lubke won the tip-off there, and 23 is Ethan Crandall. Mm-hmm. He's one of the captains of the North Lakes Academy team this year.
Oh, wow. Just dribbling off. Working his way from the outside of key was number 30, into Garcia Silva. And Silva's trying to work his way around on the baseline. It's number 15. Great pass around. It's back to Silva. Silva to Norcross. Trying to direct traffic. That's Ken Moore. Trying to work his way from McKee. Direct around. And that'll be good for two. Storm Norcross will put up the first points of the games. Good defense there. That one's just thrown high. And that's to Norcross. Gray off the rebound. Norcross had a chance with it.
It's going to be LILA's ball here, too.
And that'll be LILA's ball. Starting off with number 40, Ethan Maring. On that play there after that missed shot attempted by the Huskies. Just off the rebound, just throws that one up. And Storm Norcross is just there to run with it. As that is starting off with Maring.
Ooh,
Maring.
That's a steal by Ethan Crandall from NLA.
That's good. Crandall working his way. Tries to go for the layup. Doesn't have enough juice. That one will just fall a little bit short. Starting with Blake Strand for the Dragons. As Strand passes that one off to Moore. Moore tries to put up for two. Moore tries to keep that in. That will be taken away by Cole Dolan. So that's working away to Lubke. Trying to pass someone 40 on 40.
That's Lubke, number 4, with 3.
And that'll be good. Huskies on the board. That is number 30, in fact. Angel Garcia Silva. As Moore to Strand. Strand almost lost the ball. That's Silva. Silva faking. Silva gives him. Moore has a chance. That'll be no good.
You got Huskies ball. You got Tenaple here, 55. He'll be passing into Asher Lubke, and who will give it off to Crandall there.
Good defense shown by the Huskies as they tried to attempt a three. That'll be, again, be Silva. Silva for three. That will be a little bit tipped and blocked. But off the rebounded shot was Storm Norcross, just snatching that from the air. Again, driving it is number 10, Cole
Cole Donnelly.
Donnelly.
Yep.
That's two, no good. Off the rebound, that'll be Blake Strand. Strand to Silva. Silva passes short. And off the rebound.
Lubke with the rebound there.
Lubke with the drive. That one won't be good. Bounce off the back of the board. In the waiting arms, a couple Dragons for three. No good. Blake Strand had a chance with it. Garcia Silva wants three, but he won't get it. That one will go out. Huskies ball. Dragons not showing much pressure. Just letting the Huskies run with it. That's Crandall. It's Crandall for three. No good. Bounces off. But tries to keep it in play with Lubke. But that one will go out. As that is Blake Strand. Blake Strand with the drive from the baseline, but he'll lose the ball. That'll be Huskies' ball. So what have you seen from this Huskies team so far this year?
Well, the boys team has really stepped up from last year, and not only scoring percentages, but also in game wins, which has been huge for the program because, notoriously charter schools, they compete with each other, but not as well when we get into the bigger schools, into sections and stuff like that. But NLA boys team is doing really well this season. They've won a good handful of games, which is, I believe, double of what they won last year already this season.
Oh, wow.
So they're really lucky because they got a young team, as you can see from the roster. There's, one senior on the team that's in the starting lineup and another senior that's on the roster. So they're going to bring back another strong team next year too.
Major improvements then from last year. So stemming off of what they've got and a lot of youth helping them out.
Yeah, Crandall with the two.
As the Huskies were showing a lot of offensive there. Had a couple shots, but finally puts up 2 points. As now the Dragons are back on offense. And that's Strand. Strand making a drive for two. And that'll be good for two. A strong drive from the key and just pushes way up the lane. And that'll be good for two with the layup. Meanwhile, Huskies passing ball effortlessly as that goes to Lubke. That's Lubke. Meanwhile, a couple more people. They might call a foul.
Doesn't look like they're going to call anything on that.
Seems like ball went out. Passes to Lubke.
Done to Durango. Steve there.
And defense by number 25, Norcross.
And Norcross is a pretty strong player for LILA. So is 15 there, Strand.
Yeah.
And this is actually LILA's first year having varsity basketball.
Oh, wow.
Which is really interesting because when the girls' game is on later, the Husky team is actually a co-op with LILA.
And meanwhile, Huskies put up two more. Very interesting. LILA's first year with the varsity basketball team. But they've sure seemed like they've had a lot of experience. And that will be Norcross with two more. Couple Huskies in his face. But with the drive all the way around, Donachie, that won't be good. There's Lubke now. Had a chance from the key, but working away from outside the arc.
Durango almost lost the ball there.
Just passing from outside the arc, but he won't get three. But off the rebound, and he can't get two, but off the second rebound. Another missed opportunity for the Huskies, as that looked like number 15, Durango. And he'll be on the line.
And I think that's just the second foul of the game, too.
Very clean matchup so far, as that one won't be short. Substitution being made by the Dragons. It's Durango for the second attempt. Sound bounces off the rim. That one won't be good. Strand starting off for the Dragons. Strand passes that one off. Bounces off Kenton Moore. But that'll be Huskies' ball. As we got 10 April. Had it for a moment. Now it's Crandall. very aggressive these Huskies are so far. But just some of these missed shots that they've been having.
Another one goes in the
hoop and back out.
Yeah, it's about the 4th time that's happened to the Huskies.
Connections need to be made if they want to get some points and go up in this match. Around 11 minutes remaining in the first. Meanwhile, that's number 55, 10 Naples on the line. That one will bounce off the back, and that one won't be good.
Kuhlman's looking like he's coming in for the Dragons there.
Second attempt seemed a little bit right, and off the rebound. That's Dragons, but looked like he was out. So that'll be Huskies ball. That's 2 Dolan. But they'll blow the whistle. And that'll be Dragons ball. Seems like a little interference by the Huskies, as that'll cost them. Starting off is Moore. Moore to Strand.
Big pass.
Big pass all the way up, and he'll make that one as that connected. With Norcross. Norcross couldn't make the shot. As Pullman with a chance, but the Dragons couldn't convert on a 3. Meanwhile, Huskies.
Donnelly with the drive for 2.
Donnelly with a good drive there. A lot of long passes for the Dragons.
Oh, man, they're definitely working the court.
As they're able to put up 2 more. That looked like number 11, Jacob Coleman. These Dragons teams have been coached well as they've been finding those soft zones, just getting open. As you see, as some of these Dragons are just throwing them. Like again here to Norcross. Now Norcross outside the arc. Passes it to Kuhlman.
Oh.
A miscommunication there, as that's going to go right to Lubke. Had a chance for 2, and off the rebound, that's to the Dragons.
Lukey's missed a few of those tonight. He's gonna have to make some connections there for the Huskies to get up.
For sure. As that one's good for 3. That's Norcross. We've been hearing his name all night so far. As it seemed like with the crossover as he falls. Nolan all the way around. Had a chance for the layup. Couldn't get it for the 3. No good. As that's Dragons ball.
So going to get a substitution here.
Number 44 coming into the game. It's 9 minutes remaining in the first period.
It looks like we got a timeout on LILA.
Interesting timeout call for LILA.
30-second timeout, that will wait.
It's an interesting game today too, because this is one of those neat aspects where we can get a good crosstown rivalry from charter school to charter school.
For sure.
Because it's pretty interesting that Forest Lake is able to have 2 charter schools right in the same city.
Mm-hmm. A little in-game rivalry for these 2 teams, as both for sure probably want to win tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to see who wins for bragging rights here, because, you know, even though we're in Forest Lake, these are 2 teams we won't see play the Rangers ever, so because of their section lineups. But
exactly.
The fact that they get to play each other is pretty amazing.
If Huskies want to have a chance here, they got to tighten up on the offense and make some of those key shots that they've had for them. As the Dragons, meanwhile, moving away from the baseline. Off the rebound, that's good.
It's Strand again.
Strand from the baseline off the rebound. Maybe it was Norcross, couldn't tell. But nonetheless, that's 2 more. As with a drive, The defense there standing. That was Coleman. But team stepping out as he was trying to throw that one back in play was Drago. Number 15.
Number 55, tackling for number 50, McDonald.
Substitution being made by the Dragons. It's Coleman. With the slick pass around. Work his way in for two. Trying to have a drive. That's good off the rebound, but great steal there
by Ethan Crandall.
By Crandall. And Huskies for three. And again, another missed shot for three. Off the rebound. They couldn't pick it up. Had a chance for it. Nonetheless, that's still Huskies, because that's Lupke. Lupke passing that one off.
And Schmidt with the miss there.
Schmidt had a chance for two. That one won't be good. That's Kuhlman. Kuhlman for two. That one bounced off the hoop, and that won't be good. He got two guys on him. But great by Drago. So he was able to escape out of the double team, and here he is from the line. That was a missed shot by number 10.
Yeah, it's going to be Cole Donnelly, and he actually gets a steal there, too.
Donnelly with the steal.
Looks like we have a foul here, and Donnelly's going to get to go for two.
Donnelly with the missed shot, but he's able to make up for it with the steal, and he'll be on the line for two. It's Donnelly. He'll make the first one.
Going to get these bonus points here, and these fouls are going to be key for this Huskies team.
Definitely.
Rice is going to substitute in for the Huskies, and off goes Lupke.
Meanwhile, Dragons starting up with number 15, Strand. Strand and Norcross been pretty good so far tonight. As that one's Moore. And Moore just sitting there, and he'll put up two more. It's Draco. It's Crandall. That's for three. Huskies can't get the three. That's Dunland. Had a chance for it, but with the steal, and another missed three. Two, excuse me. Dunland had a chance for it after another steal.
Looks like the Huskies coach was calling for a traveling there, and he didn't get it. Another two, or actually three.
That looked like Strand. Tempo picking up for this Dragons team. Huskies got to answer. But with the drive, that'll be a foul call. Looks like against the Dragons. That'll be Steven Drago to the line. And bounce off the rim. No good for his first attempt.
Number 30, Silva going for number 11.
Second attempt up and good. Another foul call, giving the Huskies some points. Dangerous pass there. It's number 22, Michael Rice in pursuit. It's Norcross. It's to Moore. Moore Feckler. Now with a high pass. The steal there, but off a couple of people. Dragons, Huskies just exchanging the ball. But in the end, that's going to go to Strand. As Strand lost it for a minute. Strand with the drive. With the fake. And had a chance for two, but finally stolen, given back to with the Huskies. But another steal. Moves way back around to Strand. Strand with the pass. That's to Moore. Moore had a chance for two. And that's finally Huskies ball. Couple opportunities by Silva. Norcross. Substitution being made by the Huskies.
Yeah, lots of missed opportunities there for both teams, point-wise. Looks like we're going to get a full minute timeout here by the Huskies. Norcross and Strand, though, they're definitely LILA's strong players, and they're willing to take risks on their passes.
As some of their shots, just almost half courts, basically, giving it to a couple of different people. Connections, again, Norcross, Moore, and Strand have been the big names that we've heard. It's interesting on the sheet, doesn't list their grade nor their height, but a lot of size for this Huskies team, as some of their starting players, for sure, 6 footers, and the experience. I mean, only 2 seniors, only 1 starting, but I mean, got a lot of youth there. Yeah, they've been helping out for this team to just grow.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of height too, and one of the things that maybe we'll be lucky enough to see tonight is Asher Lubke. He can actually dunk, and there's a couple pictures actually of him dunking already this season. But they definitely aren't going to get a breakaway anyways. It's not looking like they're getting one, so he can do that.
Lukey, the 6-footer junior. Meanwhile, Huskies start with it with a good drive. As that one rolls and balances, but that one will finally fall out. As Dunlin had an opportunity, but that one's for 3 to the Dragons, as that one's a little too far.
Gonna be out on the Huskies.
As that looked like Drago.
Yeah, Durango. We always call him Steve at the school because
Steve.
It's easier than saying his last name. But yeah, he's one of our juniors as well, and he's one of our taller guys on the team as well too.
And that's a quick 2 for Moore. As you saw, unconventional lineup as the Dragons just went in a straight line, but then spread out immediately once the ball was starting to play. Does that look like that went off a couple people? That'll still be Dragons ball nonetheless. I thought that went off a Dragon. It's going to start with Strand. And Strand to Silva. As Silva with the cross. As with high pass, but that's going to be taken away.
It's going to be taken away by Tenaple. These the Dragons, they're not shy about making some big passes, that's for sure.
Some of them they've been able to get, but others the Huskies have smelled them out. As a clean 2 for Caleb Jensen.
I think that's going to be Tenaple.
Oh, that looked Tenaple.
Yeah, 55 there.
Excuse me.
Tenaple's one of our juniors as well, so he'll be returning next year.
That'll be key for the Husky team moving forward. But substitution being made. That will start off with Crandall. And that's to Lubke. Back to Crandall for 3. And that one bounced out. No good.
Yeah, looks like we got Dragons ball again.
Another Dragons ball.
Huskies are going to have to start scoring when they get down on their end.
Exactly.
Or we're going to see a lopsided score here.
That's been the big key. This score should definitely be a lot closer than what it's been reading, as a lot of these missed shots by the Huskies. Meanwhile, Steven just driving his way down for three.
Nice.
And that's good.
That's going to be Brandel, Hunter Brandel.
Brandel
With a big shot to get him caught up.
just like that, pacing their way back are the Huskies, as that looks to be Husky ball.
We got about 2:48 left in the first half, too, so we'll see if those Huskies can catch up.
6 fouls committed by the Dragons. Meanwhile, the Huskies have been staying clean, so obviously a lot more aggressive this Dragons defense is trying to get this ball back. But I mean, clean play so far for the Huskies.
Oh, big steal by Norcross.
Norcross is moving. Jumped right in front of it. Sniffed that entire play out. That'll be
It'll be the first foul on.
Looks like I jinxed
Huskies.
it there, right?
It's going to be on number 4, Asher Lupke on the foul.
That's going to Silva. Just working their way on the outside of the arc. It's incredible how fast they're getting out some of these passes. And that's Silva rolling. And with the drive for 2, as that one won't be good. Very aggressive play by the Dragons. As Silva for 3. As that one will bounce off, no good.
Rebound by Crandall.
Off the rebound to Crandall. Like we said, now Crandall's just driving. Tried to pass that one off to Tenepo.
It's going to be Huskies ball. Looks like the Dragon Silva knocked it out of bounds.
That's a little pass inside. For 3. A little high. So that'll just fall into the hands of Strand. Aggressive pass in. That's Steven. And a foul call there. As Strand getting a little aggressive, trying to steal that one away.
And that's Strand's 3rd foul of the game. So we're probably going to see him come out so the coaches can preserve him for the second half.
For sure.
And that's what it looks like the coach is doing with 1:36 left in the first half.
One of your best players, I'd assume that would be the smartest option, as that will be Crandall on the line.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep him in for the second half. I mean, he's one of your top scorers right now, and you definitely don't want to lose him in that second half.
Mm-hmm. As Crandall, off his own rebound, tried to pass that one off.
We got another foul.
And that looked like Garcia Silva.
I think they called the foul there on Lupke again.
And yeah, because Garcia Silva will start off with it. And then we'll go to Kunlun. Coleman. As that is back to Silva. Silva to Norcross. Back to Coleman. Oh, tried to run the pick there. Aggressive bump. And that one is no good for 3. It's off the rebound, was given 2.
And that's a 2 for Tenepo with under a minute left in the half.
Starting to close in on this lead. The Huskies has a great drive here going.
And the Dragons are not slowing down at all on offense.
For sure. They just want to get as many points here on the board as time's running down the first period. And that'll be a call on Moore. It's just about 30 seconds remaining. As Huskies have a chance to close this lead down even further. Even with a chance to tie coming up here. As a bad pass, and that'll be stolen and given to by the Dragons. And with the pass for 2, and that's good for 2. Jake Fackler
just what a great drive.
Running over to Naple. And that's Tenaple will put up 2 more.
He returns it. I mean, he didn't knock him over, but he got the points.
Tenaple with an answer of his own, and he'll keep this one close. 21-23. Dragons are up in the first period. A lot of aggressive play back and forth between these two teams, I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was looking a little bleak there for the Huskies towards middle of the first half, and they just were not completing those shots. A lot of baskets popping right out of the rim.
For sure. This definitely, if a lot more of these shots were converted, should be a Huskies lead coming into the half. But nonetheless, still a close one. Stay tuned for the second.
upgrading the scoreboard. I don't have anything even close to that scoreboard. The bathroom. I got quite a few adapters for the other board. Now when I got to look at it, man, it does everything normally. Right now I'm doing I do that. Every time you see me hand typing, it's with a laptop. Yeah, they even have a little pop-in. You can't change the space at all, though. It's locked in. It's all empty space all over that could be utilized.
And we are back for the second period while NLA is facing off against LILA, the LILA Dragons and the NLA Huskies. This one has been a very exciting matchup as the score has been 21-23 in favor of the Dragons. As opening tip-off here is coming up. What are your big takeaways so far for the first half for just both these teams?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that I think if the Dragons continue to stay aggressive on offense, they're going to have a really, good shot at winning this game. And when it comes to offense for the Huskies, they just got to put more of those shots in net.
For sure. It was almost abysmal just at the start of it. Seems like they got to get some jitters out. But I mean, later on in the half, they started to do a lot of great things. I mean, they closed up that gap pretty well.
Yeah, I think they got their groove back, once they started getting things in motion. Looks like the ref's checking Strand if he's bleeding, because they do make him clean it up right away.
He's saying he's all good. And they'll start off with Norcross. Norcross had a pretty big first half along with Strand and Moore. Around second half here with a steal.
Looks like we got a foul on the Dragons there.
Good start then for the Huskies. That looks like Tenaple. That's Tenaple Crandall. Crandall's slowly making his way. A couple passes back to Tenaple. Tenaple for 2. Good drive as a block and a pass inbounds. Again, this aggressive play by the Dragons. Unbelievable. Moore was all over the place. Tried to block 2 passes to keep it out of bounds, and then ends up throwing that back inbounds.
Donnelly with the layup.
But Donnelly with the layup to tie the game. Incredible stuff early on here.
Donnelly again with a steal.
Donnelly with 2.
He gets it and looks like he's going to get the foul as well. So it looks like he's going to go to the line for 1.
And now the Huskies with the first lead of the game. Learning from their mistakes. Incredible stuff here. Now Donnelly's on the line for 2, it looks like.
Makes you wonder what Coach Kozlowski said to the Huskies in the locker room. They definitely came out with a different mentality.
Yeah, for sure. As that looked like that was to Garcia Silva, but another steal. And almost a layup for 2. Dangerous pass there by Garcia Silva. As another large bomb down to Strand. We've been seeing that all game.
And it looks like Strand does actually have his 4th foul as well. So that last foul was on Strand against Donnelly.
Oh.
1 more, and he's going to be fouled out. So hopefully he can stay calm and stay in there for his team.
That would be a big blow for this Dragons team, as we've been calling his name all night.
And here it looks like Coach is subbing him out already. So coming in for the Dragons will be Kuhlman. That's probably a good decision for Coach.
Just try to rest him up for a little bit later in the game, as the Dragons are down by 2. And then as that ball goes out, that will be Huskies ball with Tenaple.
Crandall's our point guard here for the Huskies, so he's going to carry the ball up.
There's a good pass. That's Tenaple on the baseline with a good pass in. That's Steven. Now Steven to Donnelly. Don Lins, excuse me.
These refs are definitely letting the boys play tonight. They're, although there's been a few fouls, they're not calling everything.
Again, a very aggressive game. It seems like number 11, Coleman, got ran into, but he's still playing.
And 2 just scored, 55 just got 2 to Naple for the Huskies.
Tenaple has been pretty good at the end of the first and starting off in the second right where he left off, along with Dunlam, as he's been lighting it up so far.
And looks like they're going to call reach or grab.
Yeah, and that will be fouled on Moore, it looked like. Again, giving it to the point guard, Crandall. Then working with Steven right on the inside. Just let him go for those layups. And now they're starting to put up some points.
Looks like the Huskies are playing some press defense as well.
Very aggressive here.
We're going to jump ball here, and it looks like it's going to go back to the Huskies.
A lot of aggressive play. It seemed like what looked to be in the first half of the Dragons with that aggressive start. Now it's changing the tide to the Huskies as they're showing a lot of more aggressive press and aggressive play style there. As for 3, now be good for 3. Lubke. he'll make the shot there. And now a timeout being called for the Dragons, as they were not able to answer with anything.
Yeah, and the point shift just in the first 5 minutes here, the second half, is definitely changed to the Huskies. It's a 9-point difference now.
Incredible what the Huskies were able to do coming out of the half. It was interesting to note, we looked up the last time these two teams played. The score was 65-14. NLA wins it. But keep in mind, this was around Christmas time, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was the annual Husky holiday tournament, so it was right after Christmas, so, who knows if the Dragons had their full squad as well.
Yeah. But, it was just very, very interesting to note. So, a lot of growth for this Dragons team. We don't give them enough credit. This team, first year on varsity, crazy to know what they're able to do. And again, it's just a lot of improvement from both of these teams, Huskies and Dragons alike.
Yeah, it's nice. You see over here to our right of the announcing stand is we actually have Brad O'Neill from the Times. So it's nice to see that the Huskies and the Dragons are actually starting to get in some sports press too in our local newspaper.
Yeah. Getting more recognition for these charter schools, as another attempt for three. Off the rebound was Lubke. Had a chance for it. Was to Naple. As control around. Had another opportunity with Dunland. But he wasn't able to make the layup. As aggressive play style. And coming out of the timeout, that'll pay off as they put up two more. Timeout so far working in the favor of the Dragons. That was Lubke. Just passed it off to Steven. And Steven tried to put it up for two. That will bounce outside of the rim. And that'll be Steven on the line. Maybe for two. And that looked like to be a foul on Moore.
And I just reviewed some of the LILA games too. They won a game just the other week against Shattuck St. Mary's, which is down in Faribault. Looks like they won it 62-60. So they're winning games against tough teams as well. They won against Groves Academy, which is notoriously a pretty tough charter school in this conference.
Both these teams know how to show up in big games and play. As again, this game's just bragging rights, as both these charter schools are in fact in Forest Lake. It's off the tip.
Oh, we're going to get a foul on Lubke.
Lubke will get two, as Lubke with the aggressive steal. Incredible stuff going on here in the second period.
As I review these scores, I would believe that for that Husky game at the holiday tournament, they might have been missing a few guys because they played a school 2 weeks before that, and they actually put up 81 points.
Oh, wow.
Against the Minnesota State Academy for the Deaf. They won 81-63. So they're definitely an offensive team. You can see it here today.
Yeah. You know how to put up points. As for his second attempt is Lubke. And that will be off no good. Off the rebound is Norcross. Norcross with the crossover. And that one will be taken away. That looked like to Naple. That's Lubke. Steven. Giving back around for the layup. Comes blocked. Just falls into the arms of Steven, but that'll be a foul call. 6 fouls against the Dragons. Not clean play for this Dragons team. A 6-to-1 ratio in fouls. But nonetheless, that's Dunland on the line. He'll make the first shot.
Yeah, and going back and looking at the scores for the Huskies, they've only actually lost 3 games since December 15th, which is pretty amazing. They had a rough patch at the beginning of the year, though. They lost their first 5, but ever since then, they're sitting at about a 500 season so far.
Major improvements.
Yeah, so in in the conference, they're sitting at 3-1, which, a lot of these charter schools, they play a lot of teams that are very well. So, like, they played Duluth Marshall this year, which is, a lot bigger of a school than the Huskies is. And so charter schools tend to schedule some tough competition at the beginning of the year. But to be 3-1 in the conference is awesome for the Huskies.
For sure. As on this timeout called here, 13 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. An astounding switch up in the score as the Huskies lead by 10, 35-25. If I were this Dragons team, seems like too many fouls are being committed. I'll just try to calm the nerves down and get back to what they were doing in the first half with the play that they were trying to do. Let's start off with Dunlin for a second attempt. That one roll off basket, no good. And off the rebound is number 40, Ethan Maring.
Looks like Strand's back in the game, too, for the Dragons. So this could be, we'll see how it works out for their offense.
Strand with 4 fouls on the day, so he's got to be careful. As that's passed off to Garcia Silva.
Maybe it's just that east backboard down there that just doesn't like baskets to go in.
Yeah, because now it seems like some of the Dragons just can't make some of those shots. As that one goes a little too far, now be in the waiting hands of Maring. As that one goes off the hands of Norcross. Now won't be good off his own rebound. Second attempt, and he'll put up 2 more.
And you can see Strand right there playing pretty soft on defense. He definitely doesn't want to risk that 5th foul.
For sure. And a nice swim move there by Maring, and he'll put up 2 more. Keep the distance between these two teams by 10 with 3. That one won't be good. That one's batted out, but that'll be Dragons' ball. As that is starting off with Strand. Strand passes that one off to Garcia Silva. And this is the aggressive play that you saw in the first half. Lightning pace. Just a lot of those quick passes. That's what gave him a lot of success in the first. Now Steven.
Great pass to Tenaple.
Tenaple will put up 2 more, keeping this lead by 10. That's Garcia Silva.
Garcia Silva is a good little basketball player. He's getting in there as well, just with the other 2 that the Dragons have, Strand and Norcross. He's right in there as well.
Definitely. He's been doing the dirty work, just trying to get his team in position to score. The pass is going around. That's to Tenaple. Tenaple off his own rebound. Second attempt, no good. Had a couple shots at it, but Tenaple had a chance to steal.
Garcia Silva in there again.
Garcia Silva doing the dirty work, but off the rebound. That looked like by Fackler.
Looks like we have another foul on the Dragons here.
7 fouls.
I think. Well, it looks like they're bringing Tenaple to the line here, Donnelly to the line. So that should put them in bonus now. So the Huskies are going to be in bonus.
Wow.
So it looks like they're going to be 1-1.
Big blow by the Dragons there. There's a substitution being made. Looks like Talon Johnson's coming into the game. As Dunlin is on the line, and he'll make it.
He'll make it, so he's going to get another shot at a shot here. So the way once we're in bonus for the parents watching at home is that they call it 1-1, means if they make the first one, they get a second shot. If they miss that first shot, it's open season on who gets the ball.
Yep. Bounce off anything with the rebound then if he were to miss it. but nonetheless, that looked to be out, and that's given by Naples. So Huskies ball. Quick pass around, and that's back to Naples.
I believe that's Rice in there for the Huskies.
Rice in the game, as he was out earlier. So he's now back in the second period. And a big steal there by Naples with the spin around. Doesn't have a chance for it off the second attempt, and he'll put up 2 more. Naples coming on here in the second.
Huskies definitely playing some press defense here. They want to extend this lead.
Definitely. A lot more aggressive play here. As looked to be a close one at the starting of the second, starting to slip out of the hands for the LILA Dragons, as they need some quick answers. Meanwhile, that's Strand in the game. And Strand will be called for double dribble. As Strand's called him double dribble, they'll be starting off with Rice. I was passing off to Naples.
Donnelly's going to take the shot, and he gets it.
Donnelly will put up 3 more for the Huskies.
It's going to make it a 26-point difference now just in the last 10 minutes.
As a strong drive here by the Dragons, and they won't make that shot. Seems like the cursed hoop. No one can make any shots there, as the Huskies are now just driving, and they'll put up 2 more.
We'll see if that cursed hoop continues into the girls' game tonight.
We'll see, as that one looked like that went off the foot of Garcia Silva, and that'll be Huskies ball. Yeah, that hoop seems to be now the talk. What looked like that the Huskies just couldn't make a couple of those key shots in the first, now changing sides. That seems to be the story for the Dragons, as they can't make some of these key shots, as now the Huskies just been driving this lead up tremendously. So maybe it's just the hoop. We don't know.
It could just be that hoop down there. Maybe they got bent or something when the boys are doing slam dunks or something. Who knows?
We don't know.
The ball definitely doesn't like that hoop tonight, though.
Yeah.
It was Huskies timeout there, so they're going to get the ball back.
As that is starting off with Crandall. Crandall back into the game. Pass off into Dolan. Don went to Johnson. But Johnson couldn't make anything, as now that's going to be Dragons ball. That was Moore. Moore had it. That's just Strand. Strand working his way from the key, just passes out. A little dump off to Norcross. And that one won't be good, as off the rebound. That looked like to be the Husky Crandall. That one passes high with a little fake by Norcross. And they'll put up a couple more.
It's going to close the lead here a little bit with 8 minutes left in the game. About a 26-point difference now.
As Dragons are just trying to claw at this lead, as that looked to be number 10. Yeah, that was Donlin trying to keep it in play. And that'll be a call on the Huskies. Substitution being made. Garcia Silva coming out of the game.
Looks like Lubke and Steve are back in for the Huskies there as well.
Big changes by both these teams. Getting some players with some fresh legs so they can get moving. That is 2 more. More with a little drive. For 3, a little too far was Strand. Strand a little off. But nonetheless, that's still Dragons ball. As that pass to the inside for 2, no good. Another block shot for 2, and they'll finally get to that looked to be Norcross. Big drives by the Huskies and by the Dragons, as the Huskies couldn't convert on that 2, as that was a blocked shot. Now the Dragons back on offense. Strand trying to do everything in his power. Pushes team position to win. And that will be 2 more for the Dragons. They're trying to close on this lead.
It's going to be 2 more by Moore, right?
I believe so. That is to Crandall. Crandall making a drive from the baseline.
The girls' game is scheduled to tip off here at 7:30. Will probably be slightly delayed, it looks like, but the boys' game's moving tonight. There hasn't been a lot of penalties or fouls, I would say, in basketball, or delays.
Nothing too crazy. So at least for the most part, it's been a clean game, as that is starting back with Strand. As Strand just tries to pass that one off to Coleman. As Coleman in between the legs for 3, and that one's no good. Strand had another opportunity. He couldn't make that. Oh, and that looks like 25 Norcross. And that'll be 2 more for the Huskies. As Strand starting off with it.
Looks like we got some substitutions. We got Schmidt in, and Tenapel is off the court. And I didn't see who came on for the Dragons.
I don't know, but it looks like, seems like Fackler is back in the game, as that tries to go to him. But number 44, Schmidt, comes out of nowhere to bat that one out. But that'll still be Dragons ball, as Norcross just starts off with it. That's Fackler. That was Fackler to Strand. Strand for 2. Strand no good for 2.
And we're going to have a foul there. It looks like it's probably going to be called in the Huskies.
As it looks like Donlan just tried to jump on top of it, but there's already a Dragons player there. Dragons on the outside looking in. 35-49. 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the second period. So they got to start scoring quick if they want any opportunities.
They're definitely not giving up. That's a sign. They're continuing to stay aggressive.
They are. They want the ball back any way possible, as this is Strand. Strand tries to pass that one off. That looked like that went off of Coleman, and Lubke was there to just pick it up.
Looks like Lubke's going to go to the line here.
You talked about earlier today, Lubke with some great acrobatic dunks. We haven't seen anything tonight from Lubke. Hasn't had an opportunity to do one.
Yeah, Dragons definitely aren't giving him the space to get down court, that's for sure.
That just tells you the game plan of this Dragons team. I mean, they've been able to contain, so they've been doing somewhat of a good job, at least to try to hold them. I mean, this team has a lot of grit. As the second shot's going to be no good, and off the rebound, Dubke.
And we have a jump ball.
Jump ball opportunity, and that'll be given to by Norcross.
And Huskies are definitely playing a little press here. They're going to continue to stay aggressive.
As it looks like a pass to the inside by Garcia Silva. Tried to pass it through the legs, bounces off, and he still gets it. But nonetheless, that'll be Huskies ball. Huskies for 3. No good for 3 as Garcia Silva tried to bat it away, but that still goes in. as he runs into Strand. That was, in fact, Sam Smith.
Yeah, and that's going to be an offensive penalty there, so the Dragons are going to get the ball back. Looks like we have a timeout by the Huskies. Full timeout.
Full timeout by the Huskies, just trying to give his team a game plan as this lead's still the same, 49-35. Very exciting action going on.
Yeah, they're within 14 now, so I mean that's better than the 25 they were at a while ago. So
they're inching their way, but
I mean,
they gotta do it in a hurry here. I mean, just a little under 5 minutes, so you gotta think of an aggressive play call of some kind.
And we did see the Huskies come back. You know, they're down by about 10 with about 3 minutes left in the half. So I mean, we know it's possible here, and we'll see if the Dragons can do it and get this one close towards the end of the game. In basketball, 5 minutes can be like an eternity. So.
That is going to be to Norcross. Norcross and Strand. Strand loses it. Lubke will put up 2 more.
I thought that might be an instance where we get to see Lubke try to put one up there, but
he was 1-on-1 with Strand, but Lubke will settle with his stew with a little step back. Meanwhile, the Dragons on the pace with Moore had a chance for it there.
Dragons Huskies slowing it down a little bit on offense.
Yep. Meanwhile, that's Dunland. So Lubke working his way towards the key. As with a great drive and a layup by Crandall. Textbook. As now Strand with it.
Jump ball.
As Strand was trying to hold on to it, but they'll give it to the Huskies. That's Sam Smith. Trying to with a little turnaround, but that's Norcross. Norcross with a nice drive. That'll go back in the favor
Looks like we're gonna
of the Huskies.
Foul on Norcross. And that's, again, we're in bonus, so it looks like we're going to go 1-1.
Looks like Strand's out of the game. Looks like he's got subbed. He got subbed for number 50, Max Donar.
Yeah, I'd assume coach is going to try to keep him fresh, so towards that last minute and a half, they can be a little bit more aggressive than on offense and defense.
Maybe I don't even know if maybe he got fouled out of the game.
No, it looks like the foul is going to be on Norcross.
All right, yeah. It will be on Norcross. Force out there. Trying to keep it in distance as that's Garcia Silva. Garcia Silva with the spin around. He's been doing it all, setting up his team. And that'll be good for 2 more. That looked to be Maring with a beautiful layup by Cole Donlan as the Huskies are answering right back. Under 3 minutes remaining, and Garcia Silva will commit a traveling.
Schmidt's going to pass the ball in for the Huskies. Go to their point man, Crandall.
Beautiful.
And we're going to get another foul on the Dragons. It's going to be 1-1.
And that looked like to be Steven. He couldn't make the 2 there, but he'll be on the line.
Looks like Strand's coming back in for the Dragons.
Second attempt. That one be no good, bouncing off the rim. That looked to be Fackler. And a beautiful layup there.
Big passes again by the Dragons.
That looked to be number 50 again for the Dragons. Hold on. Meanwhile, with a chance, but he couldn't make it, was Crandall. As Strand's back in the game.
Oh,
and a beautiful three.
Garcia Silva on the three there.
He's been doing it all tonight. Trying to inch his team ever so close. But a beautiful for two.
Looks like Cole's going to go to the line for one here.
A minute 53 remaining. And the Huskies are running away with this one. He's on the line for his first attempt. That's up and that's good.
It's going to be about a 16-point spread in the game here.
4-3. That one just bounces out of the hoop. And that Steven looks like working his way to the inside with the cross. And that will be in for two more. As that is Garcia Silva with the fake launch pass for three. No good. As he gets it off his own rebound as no one was there. Let's try to be a pass through the legs. But that's Huskies ball. Intense action here. There's a couple of fakes. But that ball will go the other way. 60 to 42.
It's like Schmidt's going to come out, and as he a little younger brother, the other Schmidt's going to come in. Crandall's going to go out, and
Josh.
Looks like Gaskell is going to go in.
Oh. As that is Strand. Strand for three. No good for three. This is off the rebound. That will be Donlin. With a great opportunity there.
Oh, jump ball. They call it jump ball with both players in the air. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Interesting call. As that's Hunter Brandell. As it looked like Stevens out of the game. But they'll give the jump ball call. Norcross is now in. 50 seconds left. A lot of prevent now for the Huskies. As time's ticking down. Hard-fought matchup for the Dragons. But it might end up just going to go to the Huskies at the end of the day. Meanwhile, as the Dragon was down trying to keep possession of it.
It's going to be Dragons ball here. They got
that looked to me more on the ground, but that's Dragons ball.
Or actually, look, it's going to be Huskies ball. Excuse me. Johnson's going to throw it in.
As that is Huskies ball.
Looks like the Huskies, I was going to say slow it down, but it doesn't look like they're going to slow it down at all. They're getting some of their young guys in.
Yeah, just get some experience for these guys as this young team's moving forward. I mean, a good win for this team nonetheless, as they'll put up two more. That looks like Hunter Brandel. It looks like that's Strand trying to make a drive. And that looks to be Coleman. And that'll be the game.
Get a last score there at the end of the game. And wow, this definitely, the score doesn't show if you just watched late. Dragons held them.
They had a very very good game plan coming into the second, where they were struggling coming into the second. I mean, they were down, they were missing shots, but they were able to recover. They had a strong start, but they were just able to keep the momentum going. I mean, a couple swings by the Dragons, but they were just able to keep them in check. Because a lot of that explosive stuff that they were doing in the first, I mean, they were able to keep them.
Yeah, I mean, the Huskies didn't lead the game until like the last 2 minutes of that first half. That just shows the heart that the Dragons have for a first-year team. I think they're going to see their program grow. My assumption, even though they don't have their grades on their rosters, they have a lot of young guys, 9th graders, 10th graders.
Nothing but up from here.
Yeah, for sure.
And as tonight is a doubleheader, because we're going to be seeing some women's basketball coming up, as we will have the Huskies going against a different charter school. It looks to be Liberty Classical Academy, the Lions. So we'll be having some girls basketball coming up in a minute. An incredible first game for the Huskies, as I'll be glad to see you in the second game. You'll be joining me for the next one.
I'll might be a little talkative with that one because my daughter's on that team, so you might hear me yell like chin down. She tends to get knocked over a lot, and we always yell chin down to her to make sure her head doesn't bounce off the court. She tends to bounce her head off the court every once in a while. So,
all right. Well, it should be a fun one. Huskies take the first one, but as the doubleheader goes, we got another game coming up. See you in the second girls game.
I should start a new live stream because I named this one that.
I just shared your guys' channel.
Yeah, I think I'll cut this one down and go to the next.
My lovely daughter brought me some dinner since I came to the game straight from work.